Hey, what's up you guys? If you are following the real estate YouTubers, you probably heard about the recent beef between Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki. It is strange how it began because according to Robert Kiyosaki, they have met a couple times. There was an interview, I believe it was on Vlad TV, and he was asked about Grant Cardone promoting not buying single family home, instead going with a multifamily or investing in his company, Cardone Capital. This is what he does. He buys the multifamily homes. And then Kiyosaki told that he does not agree with him because the main goal of Grant Cardone was to lure people to buy houses with him. Robert Kiyosaki confronted this and told that he doesn't agree with Grant Cardone, overall stating that most of his ideas are not really worthless. Now, Grant Cardone's reaction to this was really phenomenal because first of all, he claimed that they never met. They did a podcast, which I believe it was online, otherwise they would met. Kiyosaki actually didn't wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Someone was doing the interview telling him about that possible beef between him and Robert Kiyosaki, to which Grant Cardone told that he actually doesn't have any beef and that he doesn't think that Robert Kiyosaki actually wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which has nothing to do with what Robert Kiyosaki said. Instead of arguing that buying the single family houses is bad idea and instead investing with him or generally in the multifamilies is much smarter, he started to claim that Kiyosaki never wrote that book. Instead it was written by someone else. He kept asking who wrote this book, where is the gold that Kiyosaki keeps. Now personally, I think that fight here was mainly for audience, for the subscribers, for the people who follow them, because neither of them really do. To a certain extent, both have good ideas, both have value to add, but overall they end up with sales pitch. Kiyosaki is selling his books, his courses, like a huge conglomerate of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Grant Cardone is obviously again selling his courses, his mentorships, and obviously selling the idea that people can invest with him. Now personally, I think that lately Kiyosaki was a little outdated with his ideas investing in gold. Yes, investing in gold is kind of edge against inflation, has so many flaws against investing into real estate. I mean, having some gold is not a bad idea, but personally, instead of investing in gold, I would just go with Bitcoin. It's just easier to sell, diversification purposes, or I would just go buy some stocks. Now, again, it doesn't really lay in my mind the idea of investing in gold. Of course, it's a good idea to have some gold on the side. If you have some cash stash, it's much better than cash. However, overall, I think having gold laying around is not really a smart thing to do when you can have the real estate instead. Regarding Cardone's ideas, personally, I think that the idea itself that he's pitching, not buying the single family and going instead with buying multifamilies with Cardone Capital, in itself is wrong. Because I mean, why would he pitch this kind of ideas unless, like, first of all, unless he wants the people to buy with him, and secondly, like, average guy, obviously people have a hard time buying single family homes. Obviously, like, average guy from the street, he would not be able to afford straight out of W9 salary to buy multifamily. Like, again, people have a hard time buying single families. Now, idea itself is corrupt, so he pretty much lures people into investing as him or buying his courses or buying his book. Overall, I think, again, both those guys have value. The constant sales pitch, it's mind-bothering. I mean, they could do much better, both of them. Now, regarding who's being right, who's being wrong, I don't think that I'm enough qualified to judge any of them, but personally, I think both guys have some value to add overall in education that you probably would not be able to get in college or university or in school. Now, the funny thing is that I found that podcast where they were talking, and the funny thing is Kiyosaki actually confronted him, asking not to give an advice to people that he actually implemented himself. I think that was a starting point, and from that moment on, everything just went sideways. Although the Cardone does add some value from time to time, both of them have the similar ideas, I would say, the Kiyosaki and Cardone. For instance, buying private jet, you can save right off the whole jet if you're using it for business, according to those guys, and that's a brilliant idea. I mean, if you're a higher income earner, you can just buy it, rent it out, make money, and then fly free with a private jet. Who doesn't want that? In my opinion, the pitch that Grant Cardone is pushing for investors, accredited and non-accredited, is a little bit over rated, because what he does is pretty simple. He goes and buy multifamilies and he offers to invest with him, which I think, like, if you would do the hybrid investment, the thing that I offered, I made a video about a couple days ago in my channel, you could make probably like 3-4 times of what you would make if you would invest with him. Like, you can just get the property, rent it out month to month to certain people, certain groups that would need it and are ready to pay above the market price, and then you would just not need anyone like him, and you will be much more independent. There are things that they agree on, and mostly it is that the property prices will probably quadruple in upcoming years because of all the money were printed, and that's, I think, that the main value to get out of both ideas of those guys. There's a part where the Robert Kiyosaki said that finding the investment is easy, the managing the property is hard, which I agree with him. If you are not a professional property manager, or if you have some kind of main job and consider to do it as a side hustle, you're probably screwed. That's why the property management companies exist in the first place. If you're just starting, or you're just a random person living in this world, it would be super hard for you to raise the money too. The interesting part with all these interviews was that Robert Kiyosaki was the one to interview Grant Cardone, which is really strange because Grant Cardone was in social media way before Kiyosaki hopped on. The main pitch that Cardone comes with is that I'm much experienced, I can find the deals that you guys probably would not be able to find. Somewhat he's right, because he does find the deals that would not be probably offered to the average Joe. There was a reality show where they, I believe it called like something millionaire, undercover millionaire or something like that. They dropped off Grant Cardone, shaved his head, dropped off him in Colorado, and he was supposed to make 1 million in 30 days. First of all, obviously, I mean, it's impossible to not recognize him. If you're somehow related to real estate, you probably saw this guy. Second of all, the weirdest part is, although he's trying to promote it, I did watch the episodes, he actually never made 1 million there. So he ended up opening a marketing agency instead of real estate agency. Now, I'm not trying to lowball him. He's one of the brilliant strategists in the marketing and real estate industry. However, in that reality show series, he was not able to get results. So that's a kind of exposing thing. I would not be proud of that. I'm promising something and not delivering results. Like, come on, guys. So this video added value. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and see you on the next one. Have a good one.